Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast. This is the Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast.
Welcome to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great day. Just wanted to sort of touch base on another topic, which is, I think, quite important. One that I see people struggle with and make mistakes around quite frequently. And it's based around emotion, and we understand as traders who've been listening to me for a while that emotion is something that we need to contain and be relatively unemotional when it comes to our decisions in the marketplace for us to have a truly structured and, I guess, consistent approach. Emotion doesn't bring anything with it other than feeling, and often it can cloud our judgment and wreck good, straightforward thinking. I mean, think about the times when you've made good decisions when you've been highly emotional. I would suggest it is very, very few times that you've actually done that. And if it was a good decision that you might have made when you were in a panic or when you were very emotional, it was probably not because you made the decision in that moment in time. It was just that it ended up being the right thing to do. So, when we're talking about trading and eliminating emotions, there is something we need to be aware of, and that is panic. You know, when panic sets in, it's not something that you need to have a plan before it happens or as it's occurring to stop it effectively. You don't want to panic. You want to prevent panic. Now, how do you do that? How do you get to a point where you can catch yourself before you spiral? Because what tends to happen is, and this probably has happened to a number of people that are listening right now, they'll take a trade, they'll lose. They'll take another trade, they'll lose. They'll have a few losing trades, and then they start saying to themselves, if I can just get the money back. Okay, if I can just get the money back. If I can just get the money back. And what they do is, let's say that they've had 4 trades at like $100 each. They're down 400 now. Now that next trade, they think, well, I can't get 5 in a row, surely I can't get 5 in a row wrong, so I'll risk more on this next trade to try and gain that back quicker. And then they risk more and they lose more, and they start to spiral. Now, what you do as you start to spiral is you start to make poor decisions, and often your risk increases and your logic decreases. Your selectiveness for good trades often dissipates as well. Now, the 3 or 4 trades prior, this is why I've got a plan in place where I'll cut off if I have a certain amount of losing trades in a day. It's a percentage factor. If you don't have that cutoff, you can continue to trade and you can continue to go worse and worse and worse. Now, the first 3 or 4 trades might have been really good trades. There might not have been anything wrong with them. But then the next one, because you're getting a bit frustrated, you might start to think you want to risk more, and you start looking for trades, because you know what you are now trying to do, in your brain you're saying, I want to get that money back. And the shift has gone from I'm looking for good trades, or I'm looking for reasons not to take trades, to I am now looking to get my money back from the market as fast as I possibly can. So therefore you start to do silly things, and I've done this before too when I was first learning. You'll take trades that don't even fit your rules. You'll just think, okay, well, here we go, I'm going to buy now, or I'm going to sell now, and I only need to move this far and I'll be fine. And it doesn't move that far, and you might not have a stop loss in because it's not a real trade. You're just hoping to capture a few points. You see it all the time when markets take off. Markets move very, very hard and fast in one direction, so people decide to jump in on that, hoping that it continues in that direction. Then it doesn't. The high volatility, the big candles, it then pulls back, but it pulls back really, really fast. So you get burnt very, very quickly. Then often what happens is when you get out, it falls a little bit further. If you had have just held on, it then takes off again and moves to another high, and it feels like somebody's over your shoulder just screwing with your head. So what do you do when panic sets in, or what do you do when this emotion sets in? You've got a plan for everything. So I've got a plan for everything. I've got a plan that suggests that after a certain amount of losing trades in a day, I'll stop. Now, that's a percentage factor. I won't tell you what it is because everyone's different, and I don't want to put numbers in your head. But it's a number that I will stop at. Now, if it's let's say it's 3%, for example. If I've had 3 trades at 1% each, I'll stop trading if all 3 go against me. That's the number, okay? Now, I stop and walk away because, whatever. The most important thing is there might be another fantastic trade today that I will look to take, but I've got to stop, go reassess those 3 trades, see that I'm doing the right thing, and then I can re-enter after I've done that the following day. Now, I've got a plan for the day, for the week, and for the month as well as cut-off points. So I know when I've got to stop. And I'm very strict in sticking to those rules. If you don't, though, and you've just got yourself in a hole, you've just lost a ton of money and you keep losing money, you need to relax. You need to walk away. You need to refresh. Sitting at your screens and freaking out and looking at your portfolio or looking at your trading account or looking at this, looking at that, and being involved in the market is not the right thing to do. You need to have a plan. You need to know what you're going to do. That might be walk away from trading for a few weeks, completely, altogether. It might be you just need to go for a walk, go for a surf, do something. But you need to get your head clear, and then you need to assess what has happened and learn from it. And the best way to do that is by taking screenshots, so you can go through the sequence of events and look at the trades. But the problem is when you do start to spiral, very rarely are you doing what you're meant to be doing. You're not taking screenshots. So again, what do you do when you go into a panic? The idea is to not get to a panic. The idea is to have rules in place that stop you from getting into that position. Now, I've got rules for trading strategy. I've got rules for my routine. I've got rules for days that I trade, days that I don't trade. If I don't feel great, I don't trade. I've got rules for taking my screenshots. I've got rules for cutoff points if trades start to go against me. I've got rules for everything, guys. And that's what you need to be a successful trader long term. Now, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you do, please jump up onto your Slack groups, your Discord, your Telegrams, your Facebook, everywhere you can. If you've enjoyed it, I'd love it if you could share across those channels, because you know what? If you like it, so too will probably a number of other people as well. Open the door for them to come along and listen to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show. I'd absolutely love it, guys. Also, leaving reviews and star ratings does help. The more or the higher up we go and the more listeners that we get on this show, the better the type of person I get into interview. So I want to continue to give you great content. Part of that is getting the right people on board. So have a fantastic day again. Bye for now.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast. Check out tradercobb.com because experience matters.